It's Saturday afternoon. Um, we're at another little league baseball game. Little PC is playing coach pitch, and we're getting ready for another game. It's fucking hot. I'm sweating. I'm helping coach, and by helping coach, I'm mostly just putting the catcher's gear on and taking the catcher's gear off of whoever happens to be playing catcher in the next inning. Uh, and uh, we are we're in already games underway, and little PC is going up to bat, and uh, the last game he struck out all three times, which is it's not unexpected completely. A lot of kids strike out, but he's just like swinging his bat at everything. It doesn't matter if it's high pitch, low pitch, whatever. And it's again, it's coach pitch, so the coach wants you to hit it, right? It's our coach pitching to our batters, and he's just flinging the bat at everything that comes in. Um, he's not disappointed by it, but also like he sees other kids on his team getting big hits, hitting in the outfield, running around the bases, and getting his home run, and he keeps asking me like you know, I just I really want to get the game ball, right? And coach gives out the game ball based off of he's still giving it out based off of home runs instead of like playing plays in the infield because nobody knows how to play the infield yet. And so little PC goes up and coach throws his pitches and he strikes out and he walks back to the dugout. He's not sad. He doesn't look sad. He doesn't look disappointed. He's just like whatever about it. And I was like, "Hey, so you you keep just swinging at every pitch. Like you swing as hard as you can at every pitch." And he's like, "Yeah, I want to hit a home run." Like, okay, okay. Let's stop worrying about that, right? Let's. I don't want you to hit a home run. I don't want to see you hit a home run. I don't care if you strike out. I don't care if you get a hit. I don't care what happens up there. Other than let's talk about a good at bat, right? So let's talk about what a good at bat is. And uh, and I said the idea here is when coach throws the ball at you, you wait and you see it. You got to see the pitch, and if it's something you think you can hit, then you swing at it. So take a little bit of time, let the ball get closer to you, decide if you can hit it, and then swing at it. If you strike out, having a good at bat, that's okay. That's a good at bat. That's what we want. If you get a hit and that was a good at bat, that's great. If you swing at every pitch and hit the last one accidentally and get on base, that's not good, right? We don't care about that. You didn't mean to do it. So let's have a good at bat. And he's like, okay, okay, okay. And I ask him again, like, what's a good at bat? And he's like, only swing at the balls that I can hit. Okay, good, 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 good. His next at bat, he goes and coach throws the ball and it's high and he just swings at it again. He just flings his bat at it and he looks over at me and he's smirking at me and he realizes what he did. And I was like, yeah, yeah, I do like the hand. I do my hand motion down, like just slow down. Good at bat. He's like, okay, and he nods his head at me. The next pitch, the coach throws. He doesn't swing at it, but it was right down the fucking middle. It was right down the middle. All right, but this is actually progress. I'm happy with this. This is good progress. He has taken a moment and asked if he could hit the pitch, and just didn't pull the trigger, and then it's totally fine. Um, the next pitch, he waits, he sees it, and I'm watching him see the ball, and he smacks the fucker. Like he hits the ball a uh, in the air over the outfielders, right? Like just wow, oh, just fantastic. And he's running faster than I've ever seen him run around the bases, and gets a home run. Right, he comes around third, he runs right through home base, hits the base, runs past all of his teammates, and runs over and jumps in my arms and gives me the biggest hug. Like it was so awesome. Right, he's like, "I'm gonna get the game ball." I was like, "Well, hold on, like don't worry about the game ball. I don't care about the game ball. What you just did was a fantastic at bat. That's great." Um, and that was the beginning of him figuring out how to have a good at bat. and he ended up hitting 5 more home runs that season. Again, we don't care about him. What's important is he didn't have another bad at bat. He had good at bats every single time the rest of the season, but he got his game ball in the next game when he hit 2 home runs. So, um, W little PC, W at bat, good at bats. Hey everybody, it's JPC again, and this is episode number 16 of Back in My Day. This week I want to talk about confidence, building and maintaining, and sometimes just finding it. Um, a couple of caveats, obviously. This is my explicit experience with confidence. I don't always keep it. I have a hard time, especially in Valorant. You guys have seen on any of the Boom or the Diamond videos that there are times where my confidence is just shot. And oftentimes I go into games without any confidence at all, specifically in my mechs. So part of this is me explaining how I kind of just find confidence daily because I tend to lose it overnight. But also when I have it, to how I maintain it, even though I have lulls. So hopefully this is useful for people who have fluctuating confidence, especially in Valorant. And I think that this also applies for life in general as well. So let's get into it. I want to start off by talking about the story at the beginning. So Little PC's game, like I don't know that I would say that he didn't have confidence per se. So a little bit of an asterisk to the story there. He didn't seem to be too truly bothered by striking out, but I know that he wanted that game ball pretty badly, and giving him something to focus on that wasn't just hit the ball as hard as you can. Um, I think did build his confidence. So I don't know that, again, I would say that he didn't have it, that he had lost confidence, but I do know that I helped him gain a little more confidence and some focus. And sometimes I think confidence can come purely from focus. Um, it was a big deal. One thing I left out of that was he had actually he didn't actually hit a home run on that first at bat. He actually struck out on that at bat, and I didn't want to make the story too long, so I cut it out. What he did is he struck out on that first at bat where he swung incorrectly at the first pitch, and then missed the second pitch. And when he came in the dugout, what he and I talked about was I asked him, I was like, was that a good at bat? And he said no, because he struck out. And I was like, no, like that was a good at bat. Just do that again, right? Yeah, you swung at the pitch the first one, but you fixed it. You fixed it in the middle of the at bat, and you did not swing at another pitch that was bad. You just are trying to swing too fast. So slow down, see the ball, hit the ball. But that was a really good at bat. And then the next one, the last at bat of the game, he ended up hitting a home run on the first pitch, by the way. So uh, it was a little bit different, but it was a 5-minute story, and I didn't want to go too much longer than that. So big, trying to, I guess, personify. Personify is not right. Given an example of that, again, hopefully new structure kind of makes sense, and I'll try to find little stories that I can tell, because again, I'm trying to work on storytelling. All right, let's get into it. Number one. So I think understanding fundamentals and understanding skills can help with the confidence item, right? So the goal routine is this. In all reality, the goal routine is this, and I think that getting that kind of basis under your belt is what kind of builds the thing. So if you can do, let's call the dead zoning, and you can hit your 15, and you can always hit your 15, The moment you can take that confidence of I can hit 15 or better every single time and then translate it into ranked, um, now all of a sudden your confidence in ranked gets it blows up. And it's really about that translation, right? If you can do it without it impacting your win loss, right? If you can do it without impacting your KDA, if you can do it without impacting your headshot percentage in the range or in some type of drill, then it's the next step is transitioning it over to where it does start to impact. And you're going to lose those games to start. But I think you have to connect that dot. Like, it's okay, I'm doing it here, I'm not doing it here. Why is that? Why is it not translating? The big item for that, and I think that this occurred with me. Like, I was able to do the gold routine in the range fairly early, but I still crouch sprayed and I still W keyed around corners. So I wasn't maximizing the left right movement in comp initially, and so what confidence I had doing the drills just wasn't translating over. And I think that you have to find a way to connect that. And I'll talk about that a little bit with the next one, with the next part, which is a growth mindset or a winning mindset. Um, it's really key to recognize why it's not happening, not that you can't do it. That's a big step in finding that confidence, or then again building or maintaining confidence. What is causing it not to happen in one when it's happening in another area or situation or scenario? And if you understand what it is and why, so why the drills do what they do, why they matter. I see this a lot with kind of comments, especially during low elo coaching and in Discord chat and in my stream chat. Um, the question is does this really matter? Does it really matter? And if you're asking that question, you don't understand why you're doing it. But Hujin built that's those scenarios for a reason. Um, and we bring it up all the time. If you're doing it and you're doing it well and you're doing it right, then the last thing to do is to double check that you're not skimping somewhere, you're not cheating it in some way. I remember there was one video where they were doing the metronome strafe burst, and they're only shooting one bullet. And it was important that you have to be able to do it while shooting two bullets, because that second bullet, if you move too early, you never hit that second bullet. Um, and the burst is what's important, not the tap within that drill, because it's a gunfight mechanic, it's a gunfight hygiene item. So yeah, kind of understanding the fundamentals and why the fundamentals matter, and then being able to say that this drill that I'm doing the fundamentals works. Why am I not able to translate it? Because once you can translate it, you just skyrocket into gold. Like it's a fast transition. All right, number two. So let's step over into number two, and this is the growth mindset, or the uh, winning mindset. So what I think the main part about this that I'll always kind of caveat and go back into is you have to redefine success. So I'll go back to the story with little PC and how I didn't want him to hit a home run. I didn't even want him to get on base. I wanted him to think about each individual pitch and whether or not it was hittable. Um, and then if it was hittable, then to swing. And I didn't care if he struck out. I didn't care if the coach never threw him a pitch that was hittable. If he watched, because like in coach pitch, you get 6 pitches. Either you have 3 strikes or 6 pitches. If that 6 pitch comes through and you don't swing at it, you are still struck out. But if I would rather him have watched 6 bad pitches and never swing at any of them than to swing at 3 pitches that were um, unhittable, if that makes sense. So that, to me, recognizing that and understanding that's the success metric, helped him build his confidence that, yeah, coach wants me to hit, right? And the next thing we're going to is kid pitch. We're about to go into kid pitch, which is going to be a little bit different. So some kids are just going to wing that thing in there, and a lot of kids are going to get hit because there's still no accuracy. He's got to be able to read the pitch. So knowing what the next phase is, he's got to be able to track the pitch out of the pitcher's hand and react to it. If it's coming out his face, I don't want him to sit there and still swing at it. You know what I mean? that applies to literally anything. But the easiest kind of translation for Valorant is I'm not worried about winning games, right? And you can't worry about winning games. If my goal is to apply the gold routine metrics, um, gold routine mechanics to comp, I don't give two shits if I win. What I want to do is recognize when I had a 50, did I strafe, burst, strafe? Or did I overflick when I strafed? Or was I dead zoning when I had the opportunity to dead zone? And if I only have one opportunity in a game, I better have done it. Because the more often that I have 100% success um, in my gold routine mechs, the faster I'm going to eventually succeed and win. And it's super important. And everybody that I see that has a challenge with this is somebody who's getting mad that there's a Smurf in their game, who gives two shits, right? And again, I'll go back to it. I got frustrated. I get frustrated when there's Smurfs in my game, for sure. I get frustrated when somebody on my team is throwing. I absolutely do. But if my success metric is not winning, then it's easy to get over that and go back to what my goal was. There was a period for I think 2 weeks where my entire goal was to do my pre-round routine, which is I just had to take a deep breath, breathe out, check the scoreboard. I needed to see what the ult status was and the econ status was of my team and the enemy team. I needed to then look at where my team was, my teammates' positioning. Based off of that, form a plan for myself and then communicate it. So if I did that pre-round every single round, I won. I won. I was a success. And it didn't matter if we went 0-13. If I did that, huge W. It was easy to go back to the game when there is a Smurf or when there is, again, a thrower on my team or something, when all I cared about was my one success metric. And yes, I'm going to lose MMR during that period. But as I develop it and I make it so that I'm closer to 100% every single time it happens, then that RR will come back faster than I lost it. And I think that that's where this winning mindset or this growth mindset needs to come into fruition, is understand that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up, but you have to figure out what your success metric is and focus only on fixing the mistakes around that. It does not matter if you lose a clutch unless your goal is to not lose clutches, which is an impossible goal to guarantee on yourself. Growth mindset, very important. The last thing, and I kind of put this in the blog post, building and maintaining confidence. This actually is a lot of this comes with the proper community and the proper people around you. I've seen a bunch of people post how their friends kind of give them a hard time about their rank or, call them shit or whatever. You know what? Dump those friends. Those are not friends. Those are people that don't know how to make you feel good about yourself. And if that's what you call friends, you need to have a real deep look into what you get out of that friendship. They better be giving you a shit ton of money. Kidding. That's not even. Don't do that either. The community is super important, and I think that you can find enough people in the Woohoojin Discord server to help foster those relationships. And there can still be some negative people. There's some toxic people. Yes, we see them all the time. Don't interact with those people. You can mute them and never talk to them again. You need to find the right people around you, the people that want to help you, the people that want to help you feel good, um, to help guide you and have as mentorship. I will also caveat on this that there can be people who just tell you positive things regardless of what you're doing. If you're not getting constructive feedback, objective constructive feedback, that's also not helpful. People who just kind of kiss your ass and tell you that you're doing great, when you're not, is not going to help you improve either. You need people who can be objective and can be constructive, but can do it in a positive way. That's the best way for you to build that confidence. If you can set up your proper success metrics, share that success metrics, and have people help you specifically with that success metric, that's, again, not winning and losing. It has nothing to do with winning and losing games or rounds. It has to do with minimizing the thing you need to focus on. Sorry, not minimizing. um, I'm thinking of a proper isolating. There you go. Isolating the thing you need to focus on and finding ways to maximize your improvement on that. Don't have people who are too negative, but don't have people that are only positive and don't give you constructive feedback. That's not helpful either. But I think that the proper community around you, people that are like-minded, and people that want to drive communication and teamwork, are going to be key to finding those items of success, um, as well. So yeah, let's close it up there. Well, yeah. Recaps. Figure out the fundamentals, right, and build your success around the doing the drills around your fundamentals. I'll even add to this, right? If you're trying to work on trading or something, just go into a TDM and follow teammates around. Like, you're sure somebody's going to get pissed that they'll say you're baiting them, but focus on trading. And that's a fundamental that you have to understand, and just do that. Focus on it and you'll get better at it, but you have to translate it to ranked, right? And I think that's the key, is figure out what those fundamentals are, find drills to work on them, but then translate them to ranked and ask yourself why they're not translating. If that's all you're working on is translating something you already do in another scenario into ranked, your confidence should still be high, right? Like, that you shouldn't lose confidence that you can't move it to ranked. You just need to ask the question, why can't I? What's not happening? And sometimes all that is just a mental check, right? Stop treating it like ranked. I had to, treat it like Swift play, when I was in plat, and that helped out a lot to just stop caring about the outcome. And again, I struggle with it, but that's the simplest answer, is stop caring about the MMR. The MMR does not matter. You will improve and you will blow past your current MMR by focusing on improvement. Yes, you will lose some MMR, but you will blow past that MMR starting point by focusing on your mechanics now, or your fundamentals now, or whatever your focus is now. Um, Develop a growth mindset that kind of just goes into that. Like, you have to stop worrying about objectives that you have little control over. It's a 5v5 game. You can't control 9 other people. There's going to be a smurf on their team. There's going to be a thrower on your team. Yes, there is. It's absolutely going to happen. But more often than not, you're not going to have that. And if you focus on your specific fundamentals and the specific success metrics that you build for yourself, then you will win more often. You will be a 55% win rate just over time, right? You want to think about that over time. And over time, you will be 55 plus. Um, I'm proof of that. I focused on specifics, and I have, I think, a 53% win rate or something. I'll look it up right now while we're talking. Chatting with people. We're all chatting. 52% win rate, all rank, all acts. Yeah. So very, very, very easy to just win more than you lose, and you can do that by having that winning mindset, or that growth mindset, at the end of the day. And then the last thing, again, I'll just reiterate that: have the proper people around you. If you have negative people that you talk to all the time, they're worthless. Don't have them around you. Get rid of them. I'm 100% like, those are not friends. Those are not people that are good for your mental. Get rid of them. But on the opposite side of that, don't have people that just purely yes man you and make you feel good regardless of what you're doing. You need objective, um, constructive, positive people around you, and having a community around you really helps with that, and that does build and drive confidence 100%. Guaranteed. That's the boomer guarantee right there. All right, that's it. We caught up. This is the last podcast that I'm behind. Yep. And we're going to do a lore drop next week, which is, I saw somebody ask me talk about getting older in age. So I'll do like a cheeky little getting older podcast next week, and kind of see how that goes. Hopefully that's interesting and fun for people. But all right, that's it. Thank you all for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Good luck in your games, and we'll see you next week.